Please welcome to the stage, Cavetown.
Hello.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, guys. What the heck is up?
Your fans are the best.
Yeah, I know that.
So I want to talk about the new album, but first I want to start with a couple of origin story questions. So about a decade ago, when you were 14, you started posting songs to YouTube. And I wonder, can you tell us what you were thinking at the time as a teenager? What did you hope to achieve, posting music?
Yeah, what was I thinking? I just kind of grew up on the internet, and so it kind of came, it felt as normal to me as I don't know, for someone to want to, I don't know, busk or something. I had a lot of friends on social media, and I grew up watching people that I looked up to posting on YouTube and stuff. And I wanted to share the songs I was writing, and I guess I wanted people to see them, but mostly I just wanted to show my friends and just see what they thought, and also just to see what happens. It was just kind of, I was curious. I don't know, is anyone gonna like this? But yeah.
Makes sense. You've said before that your songs are filled with things that are hard to admit, even to yourself. So what is it that draws you to releasing those things to the world, in songs?
Yeah, that's a question I asked myself for a long time, and I've kind of not really known the answer, and I'm slowly kind of forming one day by day. But I think when it comes to hard things that are hard for you to talk about or process, there's a lot of loneliness in that, and secretiveness. But at the same time, even when you want to keep things a secret, you kind of want people to know. You kind of want people to know that if you need help, or if you're going through something, and you kind of want people to be able to tell you that you're not alone. And I think that's what's drawn me to share such, I guess, vulnerable stuff with just the world. It seems counterintuitive. I kind of want to be secretive about my feelings and stuff, and I still find it hard to talk to my closest friends about how I'm feeling. But something about putting it out into the world, it helps me feel seen. Helps me feel like I fill up a space somewhere, and that's kind of nice, especially when I hear feedback from people who listen, who tell me that my music has helped them realize something about themselves, or they relate to it in some way. 'Cause I mean, I'm feeling the exact same thing on the other side of it. Someone telling me, hey, I never heard anyone put this into words. I'm like, wow, I never realized anyone else needed that put into words like I did. So whenever someone tells me that they relate to a song, it in turn also helps me feel less alone, and that's really special.
It is special. For me, when I listen to your songs, they're very therapeutic. It feels kind of like therapy for me. Is it like therapy for you?
Yeah, I kind of liken it to journal writing. It's each song is a diary entry, and then so when I look back at old stuff, it's kind of a little snapshot of whatever I was going through at the time. And that's also kind of it's been a nice way for me to have some kind of reference to how things have changed. Because you kind of, it's you can't tell that that your friend is getting taller because you see them every day at school. But then if you go away for ages and come back, you can see how different they are. So if I spend ages away from a song and come back to it, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's nothing I would make now, or nothing that I would even care about now. And it's a kind of a nice reminder that things do change for the better or the worse. And maybe stuff that I write about right now that's really bothering me, I'll look back on in 2, 3, 5 years and be yeah, I don't care anymore. And that's that's good to hope for. Yeah.
I really love that, like, sonic sort of plot points of growth. How do you feel like you've grown since, your first record, what is it, 10 records ago or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't know. I think the word growing implies getting better, improving. I've definitely improved in some ways. I've definitely devolved in many ways. But I guess that, yeah, I've just kind of shape-shifted into whatever form I am in today. And yeah, that is what it is. And I think I'm better at talking about myself, I guess, just because I've kind of been forced to for a while. I'm better at producing. Hopefully it sounds better. And yeah, everything around that, I just am. I don't know.
Speaking of being a producer, you're known as a one-man band, quite literally. But for Worm Food, the new album, you went to San Diego to work with someone there. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did a little writing trip to San Diego. I got an Airbnb there by the ocean. It was really nice, and a friend of mine, someone that's been in my life for a long time, from Pierce the Veil. Anyone know Pierce the Veil? Yeah. I love Pierce the Veil, and the singer Vic Fuentes lives in San Diego, and he'd come to a show of mine like before COVID, just because we were like mutuals on Instagram, and we had a good long chat at that show, and so when I told him I was going to be in town, he was like, "Yeah, let's hang out." I was like, "Yeah, I'll show him some songs I've been working on for Worm Food and see if he has any ideas." He was mostly just very complimentary, and he showed me some of his new album before it was out, which was kind of awesome. Like when it was in like demo phase, which was really bizarre. It's really nice to meet people from, I guess, your developmental years, like someone you've looked up to, and they are just cool and nice, and you're not disappointed. Because I feel like that happens a lot. You kind of realize that the person they put out isn't exactly authentic, but yeah, Vic is one of the sweetest guys, and yeah, he spent the whole day with me, going through my songs, and we started writing a new song together, which ended up being a kind thing to do. And that's one of my favorites, just because of the special memory of writing it with him. And I'm really proud of it. It was a really awesome experience.
I love that. Have there been any other sort of formative influences that you've met since? I mean, I guess yes. Sorry, I'm just accessing my brain. There's an artist on. I've talked about this a lot of times, so I may be repeating myself with some people here, but there's an artist that I followed on Bandcamp a long time ago, before I ever toured, and he was called Spooky Ghost Boy, and we ended up being friends online, and he lived all the way in Nashville, so we were just kind of online friends. And then when it became time to start touring and stuff, I was trying to figure out, do I know anyone in America who can play music? I'll shoot this guy a message and see. And he was like, yeah, sure. And that was like 6 years ago, and he's up until this day in my band, which is very sweet. And sometimes I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, I used to cry to your music in bed when I was 12. This is so weird. But he's literally, he's one of the gentlest, sweetest,
most caring people I've ever met, and he's never done anything wrong.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I'm curious, kind of going back to the album. So often your songs come from like a sad place or from heartache, broken place, that kind of thing. But there has been such a strong positive reaction to the song Frog, which I love. I'm wearing my green for Frog.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a happy song. Can you talk about that? Like,
Yeah.
how a happy one snuck in there?
Yeah. It is a happy song. It's about something very happy in my life. I mean, I write about things that are just like weighing heavily on my brain, and for once that was a good thing. I started dating someone nearly 2 years ago, and when when we were first like hanging out and getting to know each other, and we both we knew we wanted to make it official or whatever. We were also both nervous to kind of say the words boyfriend, girlfriend, and so I was like, BF. What if that stood for boy frog, and GF stood for girl frog? What if that was us? And she was like, yeah. Are you asking me out? I was like, yeah. So I don't think I didn't like directly say it because I was so nervous about it. But yeah, that was kind of like our nickname for each other at the start, and so that's where Frog came from. And I also wrote it knowing very well that the kids love frogs these days, and it will sell very well. So.
Speaking of animals on the record, I have to ask about Juno.
Yay.
How's she doing?
She's good. Juno is my cat. She lives in the she lives in the UK, which is where I live with my girlfriend. And my girlfriend was out in New York with me recently, and recently went back to see her again. She'd been looked after by her cat sitter that we get to visit whenever we're both away, and she's a little fatter because her cat sitter likes to give her lots of treats, so that's something we have to deal with. But she's beautiful. I love when she's round. She looks like when her favorite place to sit is in the doorway to wherever room you're sitting in, facing away from you. That's how you know she loves you. She's guarding you from the perils of the hallway. But whenever she sits like that, she looks like a little raccoon from behind. And she's a baby. Yeah, I love her so much.
When my cats do that, I call it gargoyling.
Gargoyling.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a collaboration on the record that I want to ask you about because I love the song. Fall in Love with the Girl is with Biaba Doobie, who I adore. Tell me how that came together.
Yeah, I wrote that one. I think that was one of the earliest ones that I wrote, because I remember we wrote it when I was still living in London. And yeah, she's based in London, and we'd kind of been wanting to hang out for a while, and then COVID happened and stuff. And so after it was kind of okay to see each other again, she came around to my house in London, and I thought of her when I was writing the song. I was like, this sounds like a song that she would put out, or that would just sound good with her voice. So yeah, I invited her around, and she helped write the verse with me, and that's kind of that's what happened, and then we made it.
Do you typically write the music first and the lyrics later, or what's the order of operations there?
It kind of depends. I usually kind of do both / everything at the same time, just because I've always produced all my own stuff. As I write, I'm like, oh, I like this chord sequence, so I'll just lay that down and loop it, and I kind of produce / mix / write as I work through the project file, because otherwise I'll just forget whatever it is I did. So I need to kind of think of it, record it immediately, and then it's like then I can't lose it.
One thing that I love about your style, your lyrical style, is your vocal melodies are always so tight-knit and sort of rhythmic. And I wonder where that comes from. Like, do you read a lot of poetry, or does it come from listening to like post-hardcore sort of emotional songs? Or
I don't know. I mean, I have a very musical upbringing. Both of my parents are musicians, and I used to sing in like church choirs for a long time. So I think that a mixture of just kind of, I guess, just having a natural ear for like harmonies and stuff from my parents, and then also, when you sing in a choir, you have to be able to sing your line and not drift onto someone else's. So I think like that kind of helped me practice being familiar with like different harmony styles and different kind of intonations and stuff. But I'm not too sure. I just think of it and it happens.
Speaking of your parents, you mentioned this, but you recently moved back to Cambridge, your childhood home, and there is a lot of nostalgia in your songs too. And I wonder kind of what drew you back to home and how it's going being back there.
Yeah, when I moved to London, that was the first time I'd not lived at home with my parents. And yeah, I moved at a very bad time, 2019. Just was kind of inside the whole time, and it was really miserable. And so I was like, I need to probably move somewhere else. London's too loud and smelly, and I mean, it's fine, but not for me. So I was like, and one of the first times I was able to like visit my dad back in Cambridge again, when he was driving me into the town, I felt like I was coming home, and I was like, I think that means I have to live here again. And so I just started looking for a place, and I live about 10-minute drive from my dad now, and it's really nice to have him so close by. He's teaching me how to drive myself too, which is nice. He's trusting me with his car. That's it.
Okay, I would love to take some audience questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's see. It's a little hard to see right here in front. Yeah.
Hi. Sure, great question. I ask myself that all the time. I think sometimes words just feel like the right ones, and you don't really know why until they're down on paper. Sometimes, but until the song's out, I'm like, why did I say this like that? And it becomes apparent to me over time as I listen to it more and stuff. But sometimes I'll just be like, I want to use the word. I don't know. I'd use the word bug. I know I write about bugs a lot, but I'll be like, I want to use this word or this phrase that I've thought of. I don't know what it means yet, but I'm gonna make it kind of link to whatever the song is becoming, I suppose. And it feels a little less overwhelming when you can start with just like one word or a sentence or whatever, and you kind of write them down on a page and see like, how am I going to link these two? How am I going to link these two? And you always got to have RhymeZone open, rhymezone.com. That's very helpful. Yeah, who here loves rhymezone.com? Shout out. Yeah, that's very useful. Sometimes I hear more of just like a rhyming scheme in my head. Like I can hear that I want to end two lines with a ah or a oo or whatever, and so you just put a word into rhyme zone that rhymes with ah or oo, and you're like, that's cool word. I'll take that one. So that helps me. I hope that answered the question a bit. Thank you for your question.
Anyone else? Yeah, over here.
Have you ever considered re-recording some of the earlier songs, like Meteor Shower, similar how you did Home?
I have. I have. I feel like I used to do that. I used to re-record old songs a lot. And then I felt like I was doing it too much, so I haven't done it in a while. But Meteor Shower is definitely one that I have been reminded of more recently, and I feel like I want to give it my knowledge that I have now, I suppose. So yeah, I want to re-record a Meteor Shower at some point, but nothing's happened yet. But I intend to. Yeah, thank you for your question. Oh, thank you. I will. Okay, wait. Pick a. What's your favorite like weird instrument? Sorry, it's okay if you don't know. I don't know, like something weird, like a kazoo or a flute or an oboe. If you could request one instrument for me to put in Meteor Shower, what would it be? Xylophone? Okay. Expect a xylophone in the Meteor Shower. What was your name? What was your name, sorry? Alyssa.
Yeah, me and my friend Prince, we've actually gone to a lot of your concerts. Like, it started with when you were opening for Bleachers, and then we saw you were going to be in Paris, so we flew to Paris.
Whoa.
They actually gave, like, a hat. I don't know if it ever made it to you, but we, like, threw it onto the stage at the Paris concert.
Oh, sweet.
And they had, like, a note. I don't know if it ever made it to you.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. But if I got it, I loved it. Thank you. And credits to Alyssa for the xylophone to be.
We have a very young friend in the back here in the white hat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you again. I love your hat. Yay! That's awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, back here.
The stuffed lemon? Yeah. Did you make it? Yeah, you did. You did make it. I remember. Didn't your someone came with you to show me, and did you came to show me, and you were like, you made this, and you were like, no. And you forgot. Yeah. No, I understand. I would have forgotten too. But it was really, you're so talented. Thank you for making it.
Robbie, I have the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what. It's so happy. Aw. You're so talented. Thank you. You're so cool. You're so cool and brave.
I'd called on someone in the back. Yep, there.
Oh, I think they'd think I am cool. Yeah, I think they'd be like, whoa. I think they'd be like, oh my gosh, I have a mustache? That's awesome. I think they'd think my hair is cool, and I think they'd be glad that for like 12 years straight, I just had my hair up in at the back, like I'd sleep in it like that. I was like, I can't. I don't know why I was like, I didn't even consider that you can cut your hair off. I was like, I don't want to see this. I'm gonna hide it behind my head. But I'd be proud of myself for cutting my hair and for having a mustache.
Let's see, someone in the middle, right there. Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's trying to start music but is just too scared to do it?
I guess it's probably would be good to like start small. I guess it depends on what you're scared about. Are you scared about it sounding bad? Are you scared about I don't know, being vulnerable? Are you scared about what people might think? And just I would say think about what it is you're scared of and what is literally the worst that can happen. And what's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? And what is probably going to happen? In the right in the middle. You'll probably release it, and your friends will be like, "This is great. I'm proud of you." And you'll have some people who like it, some people who don't. But the most important thing is that you're enjoying it, and you can always just stop if you don't enjoy it. And you're not signing your life away. So yeah, I would have a think about what it is that's scary, and maybe start small and just show your friends, just show people that you trust, and just wait until you're ready, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But right here, long dark hair. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I kind of regret everything, every phase. Like I'll probably regret the way I present myself now, like later. So I don't know. I feel like I feel good about how I dress and stuff now, but I also felt good about how I dressed when I was like 14, and it wasn't good. So I don't know. But I feel fine now, so that's okay.
Right here.
What's your favorite song that you've ever made?
My favorite song that I've ever made, I would have to say, I don't know, it changes a lot. I mean, usually my favorite song is one that I'm like working on and I haven't put out yet, but I'm still very fond of Juliet. Yay. I really like Better from Worm Food. Yeah, a lot of the songs from Worm Food I'm still really proud of, and I'm still having fun playing them and stuff. From Lemon Boy? Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember any of the other songs apart from Lemon Boy right now. Green is in there, Pigeon's in there. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about what I think of that album in a long time. What's your favorite? What's that one? Is it Lemon Boy? Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. I would say that's my favorite too. It's done a lot for me. Let's just say that.
A couple more. There in the back.
How did you like get over the fear of releasing music and like people you know seeing it and like how they would think about it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I just kind of always I'd always be musical, so it was kind of like it wasn't like I was surprising anyone with being like, "Hey, I'm making music," because it's like, "Yeah, you've been doing that for a while." But I honestly I think I just kind of didn't have like friends at school that I was gonna be embarrassed by, you know. And anytime that I had free time at school, I would just kind of leave it. And so yeah, that's an interesting question, because I feel like I didn't really hit that much of a barrier with that. But I guess I I would advise the same way as like if you're scared to release music, full stop, is just evaluate like what you're scared of. If it's people at school, it's like, do you really care about those people at school? Number one, and if you do and they're being horrible to you, then they're probably not great for you in your life. So, yeah, I surround yourself with people that are gonna love and support you no matter what, and that's like the most important thing. Yeah, look, you guys are friends. Yay. Yeah, just show your music to your friend there, and they'll be so proud of you.
Here on the end there in the middle. Yeah, you right there. Yeah.
Tomorrow. Do you have any pointers for me? Anything that, if you can tell me what to draw, I'll do it. It depends. It's up to you. It's your tattoo. This is the thing. I get this question a lot. Thank you so much for like asking me. That's a huge thing to like trust me with. But I get asked that a lot, and I'm like, what do you want? They're like, I don't just draw anything. What do you mean? This is your skin. You're tattooing. I want you to tell me, or I'll feel bad that it's not something you want. Okay, I'll draw you a lemon guy. Can I invite them up to draw it?
Yeah, come on up.
Yay. Okay, little lemon guy. Do you want it to have like limbs?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Sure, yeah. Should it have like a torso as well, or just like limbs coming straight out of a guy?
Maybe no torso. Or you know what? If you want a torso, I'm really open to anything. Trust me.
Okay, I'll do a little torso.
Okay.
Let's see here.
This is a really special performance.
I'm concentrating.
I told all my friends, I was like, if I can, I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Just plan for weeks.
I love a
Hell
bold
yeah.
move.
Yeah.
I really do.
You're so brave. I hope this is the best tattoo ever.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Can you see this? You're welcome. If you don't like it, you don't have to get it, and I won't be offended. You need to send it to me, though. I want to see it, proof. Thank you.
All right. Right here? Yeah, you.
I'm from Japan, and have you ever been to Japan, or are you planning to go to Japan?
I would love to go to Japan.
Like living here, like in Italy.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Nice. Yes, I'd love to go to Japan. I've never been. It's kind of a hard place to tour. Just like, it's hard to get there. It's kind of far away. But also, it's a very different process in terms of like booking shows. So I think it is more difficult to get in there. But as soon as someone lets me in, I'm gonna be there. So I hope I get to see you there again. That would be really awesome.
Let's see. Let's do one more.
This, I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but the mood of the actual like music, like not the lyrics, the music, how. Because in your music, the mood doesn't come from the music comes from the. I don't know.
The mood. How do I create the vibe? Is that the question? Like sonically, you're saying? How is the question? Is how?
Is the mood like a divine burst, or is it work?
I mean, it's just like, it's like, I don't know if you've ever like had a thought before, but it's kind of happens like that, where you like think of something, and then it's in your mind. I mean that in the most loving way. I'm sorry. Okay. So I guess it's like the same as writing lyrics. Like sometimes it just something feels like it right, and I don't know how to explain. I kind of like, because I'll track stuff as I think of it, and I kind of, as I'm looping a section, if I can kind of hear what's supposed to be there. Like I can hear in my mind what I want to add, and then I add it in. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you. Sorry for wasting like 15 hours.
No, no. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.
Okay, one more right here.
Right. Yeah. I think I've managed to stay connected to it by like kind of protecting my space in my studio, and I've maintained like control over everything for a long time, and in that I've always produced everything from start to finish on my own. I feel very weird giving that to anyone else, and so as long as like I'm in control of all of the sounds and stuff, it always feels like mine. And but at the same time, I'm also like slowly learning that music is sometimes better enjoyed with friends, and sometimes it's better made with friends too. And so I'm, in the near future, I'm trying to experiment with that more, letting people into my process, leaning on my friends for their ideas and stuff, and kind of there's parts of the process that I am very precious about. I love being in control of like all the production and stuff, but at the same time, I have friends with some awesome brains who can think of cool things too, and just because my process might change or evolve over time, it doesn't mean that it's any less mine, I guess, is something that I'm growing to realize. Good question. Very relevant question to my current life. Suspicious. Thank you.
Okay, we've been having a lot of fun, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a more serious question. You recently created something new, which is called This Is Home Project. Yeah. Can you tell us about that and why you wanted to get involved with this?
Yeah. This Is Home Project is just kind of an extension of what I've done for as long as I've been touring. As long as I've been, I guess, making money, it's always made sense to funnel some of that back into charities, and more specifically into queer charities and intersectional queer-based organizations. And yeah, as my shows have gotten bigger and my audience has gotten bigger, it doesn't make sense to not let that grow with it as well. And so, yeah, this film project is my larger scale format for continuing those like charitable donations, and it's a kind of an avenue for me to host events that raise money for LGBTQ plus charities that I'm connected with, and hopefully to get closer with those charities too. And outside of just, helping out and helping being charitable, I also feel like it's important to keep showing my audience that I see them and that I care about them, and that they're not getting, you guys are not getting lost in the busyness of like everything growing. And yeah, ultimately this song project is for you, because I know that a lot of my audience are queer, and a lot of people struggle who are queer. It is true, and anything that I can do to like help make people's process easier, whether that's them finding a place to feel safe or finding access to healthcare or whatever, I don't know why I wouldn't do it. So that's basically what This Is Home Project is, and I'm hoping for it to keep growing and to be able to do more and more events and like special shows and stuff, and yeah, just keep it growing with me, I suppose.
I love that. Okay, I'm going to end on a silly one.
Okay.
What do you do with all the frogs and the bugs and the lemons and the flags, and where are they now?
There's a lot of them at my house. I have like a shelf in my gaming room where I play Minecraft, and I look over to the side and there's some crocheted little dudes. Yeah, I some of my favorites, I like to display them in my house. Or yes, some good plushies that I've, because I can't like travel with my plushies from home usually, because I have to wear clothes and stuff, and so there's not room in my bag. So sometimes if I get a good plushie from the audience, I'll take that, and that'll be my spooning partner while I'm on tour. But at home I have IKEA Shark Blahage is my number one.
Well, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yep.